Hello, I'm Kelley Holmes with Cygnus Business Media, and I'm here with Ron Stroman, the Deputy Director of the Post Office. Thank you for joining us, Ron.
Thank you. It's a delight to be here.
We've got some questions that we'd like to ask you based
Sure.
on the current situation and what's going on with the Post Office.
Sure.
And one of those is, what are your current financial projections?
Well, we need to be very honest here. Our current financial projections are fairly grim. In the third quarter, which just came out, our numbers indicate that we have a loss of approximately $3 billion. We're projecting for the year to lose in the neighborhood upwards of $9 billion, which was up from about $8.5 billion last year. So we've got some real work to do. The decline in first-class mail has been just relentless over the last 3 or 4 years, and what we see is that decline will continue. So we're going to have to make some real changes in our business model.
Okay. Are you able to speak about some of those changes?
Well, I think there are really two portions to it. We have a huge organization and tremendous excess capacity in view of the decline of first-class mail. So what we're doing is really consolidating our retail and our delivery networks tremendously. We've announced that we're going to be reviewing about 3,700 post offices around the country for possible discontinuance. After we finish that review, we will probably pick up another 4,000 that we will review. In addition to that, we're consolidating our delivery network. So right now, what happens is that we have in the neighborhood of about 400 or 500 large mailing facilities that we operate on a daily basis. We're going to pare that down to under 200. So this is a huge consolidation of our network. It will save us a tremendous amount of money. In addition to that, we're certainly hoping to work with the Congress and move from 6-day delivery to 5-day delivery. All of these things we think will save us in the neighborhood of about $12 billion over the next 3 or 4 years. So we're making huge changes, I think, sweeping changes in the Postal Service.
Okay, very interesting and a big challenge for you indeed. So in this era of cost cutting,
Yes.
What are you doing to add value to the Postal Service for your customers?
No, it's a great question. As we pare down, for example, our retail network, what we have seen in the industry is that our customers want access to postal products on a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour basis. So we are making our products available online. So now you can go online, you can get stamps online, you can get some of our postal products online. We will deliver those products to your door. In addition to that, we have what we call a village post office concept. Mm-hmm. In that respect, we are pairing with other major businesses. For example, Office Depot. We have a tremendous relationship with Office Depot. So now you can go into Office Depot and you can buy, postal products. We'll have pairings with other businesses. We're in the process of negotiating. We really want to go where our customers are and our clients are. So providing increased access while we are paring down our network, we think is a win-win for both of us.
Interesting, okay. And the Postal Service has proposed major changes for the future.
Yes.
5-day delivery,
Yes.
you mentioned.
Yes.
Eliminating overnight service standards
Yes.
as well? Okay, and what research has been done to project the combined volume impact of all of these various strategies?
Yeah, well, that's again a great question. We have done a tremendous amount of quantitative and qualitative research. And what we have found is that if we go, for example, from 6-day delivery to 5-day delivery, 5-day delivery is our day where we have the least amount of mail volume across the country. What we anticipate is that we would lose somewhere in the neighborhood of about $300 to $400 million. At the same time, we would save somewhere in the neighborhood of about $3.1 billion. So the cost trade-off for us is really a no-brainer. In addition to that, we are very conscious that we not increase taking products, driving our customers away from the mail. So what they have told us is if we reduce our retail footprint, but we increase access, what we have gotten back in terms of research is that that's a win for both sides, and that most people will not, move away from us from the mail. Now there are some of our customers who really want us to deliver 6 days a week, and we understand that. But overall, I think our research indicates that we can make these changes pretty successfully.
Excellent. And what are Congress and the Obama administration doing to work with the Postal Service in creating new and sustainable business for the future?
Well, it's again a terrific question. We had a hearing just this past week, and at the hearing, the director of the Office of Personnel Management, John Berry, testified. One of the things he said was that the administration will be submitting a package to what is to the new super committee, or the deficit reduction committee in the Congress, and it will contain their plan to help with the Postal Service's finances. So we are in the process of having intense discussion now with the administration about what the content of that plan would be. In fact, we've got meetings set up all next week to have ongoing discussions. We've also been in pretty close discussions with them over the last month. We've been talking about some of our new proposals to help trim costs, for example, one of which is to take over our own health care. I think if we take over our own healthcare system, we think that we can resolve a number of our financial problems. Healthcare is just really growing exponentially, not only for the Postal Service, our costs, but across businesses across the country. Mm-hmm. We think we can lower our administrative overhead by somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 10%. In addition to that, we are the second biggest payer into Medicare, and yet our retirees don't use Medicare. They use the existing federal government retirement and healthcare system. So even though we're paying into Medicare, we're not really reaping any benefits like any other company would. We really need to operate like a business. And in that sense, what we see is having our retirees use Medicare like other businesses, and then having a postal healthcare system as a backstop. Those are, a number of the, we think, major provisions that we're trying to work with the administration on to say, look, we can really reduce our costs going forward if we can take over some of those systems like any other business. If Congress will allow us to operate more like a business, we think we've got a very successful business model going into the future.
Well, that's good news for this industry, that's for sure. So being in the printing industry, we've got a significant investment in watching what's happening with the post office, because of course that's a mainstay of what we do is print and direct mail. So right. Do you have any specific advice for printers?
Well, I think it's a good question. It's a very good question. I think the most important thing I can say is that we need to work very closely together with the print industry. We got a decision, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why this is important. The Postal Service, for example, has got to take some options in terms of raising prices, for example, or not raising prices. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we have seen in ongoing discussions, and some with the print industry, is that the industry itself is functioning on very close margins, very close profit margins. And the question is, if you raise prices, what's the impact of that? And so we have been very attuned to the concerns of the print industry that we not raise prices too high, because then you just drive people out of the business and you hurt the business model itself, and it works products out. Mm-hmm. So that's an example. I think we've heard, the print industry, we've talked to their executives, they have told us about these tight margins, and so you know, we just need to work together. I mean, one of the things that that's important is that as an industry, we kind of march down, you know, the path together here. You know, that we not be divided. I think the most successful industries are those who have common objectives. Now, you're going to have some competition, but have common objectives. So the more closely we can work together on a range of things, the better it is. So that's one of the reasons why I'm just so pleased to be here today.
Good. Well, I know our friends at the Graphic Arts Show Company and NPES and NAPL, and certainly Cygnus Business Media are very happy for you to be here today. So
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you taking the time to spend with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Kelley.
Okay. Thank you.